Coming up, we do have a great segment that everybody needs to listen to because it's about pre-approval, and it's regarding also the real estate market and the positive transitions. I've been waiting all morning to report on that. And Mike, take us to a quick break, and we'll come right back.
It's 10:47. 40 wins the sports animal with host Philip Bell and our guest. I'm Michael Wolf. To be considered, to be featured on the program, 866-801-0940. Now, once again, Philip Bell.
Good morning. I have with Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, I have Howard Vernick, and I also have Coral Shores, one of the, what I call Realtor extraordinaire, Karen Donohue here with me. And good morning to both.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Well, I appreciate you coming in on this Saturday and getting involved with getting pre-approval. I'd like you to let people know, because we are short on time, but let them know now is the time. Rates are lower and the process is easy, and what the credit scores are and so forth. So in terms of mortgage industry transition right now, where are we? I come to you. What is the process? What do I need to know and have ready in order to get my pre-approval?
Well, right now, it's not as hard as people think it is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. They hear a lot of rumors out there that you need to have perfect credit and all this money down, but it's really not true. We are actually approving people now with only 3.5% of the purchase price for a down payment, and we're going with credit scores as low as 620.
Wow.
So this means that you can have relatively mediocre credit, and as long as you have a job, that credit and the small down payment, you can easily be approved.
That is an eye-opener. It sounds to me it's easier to get a mortgage now than it is a car loan.
Well, it's crazy that, people, all they have to do is prepare themselves before they go out looking for homes. The biggest problem that we see is that people might have a ding here or a ding there, and they don't take care of the problem until they're in the middle of the mortgage process, and then everybody gets frustrated.
The thing I like about you in our conversation is you really care. You're not selling trying to make a sell. You're trying to be a consultant to understand their unique aspects and their needs and their concerns. And even people who are on that borderline of they want a $200,000 house, but in looking at it, it's a stretch. And I believe that you consult with them to analyze what their real needs are and their ability to make the payments, opposed to getting over their head.
Well, yeah, when we talk to people, we not only look at can you be qualified, but can you really afford the house? You might be able to qualify for a payment, but when you do the math and you back into it, you don't have any money left over to pay your other bills, and we don't want to put anybody in that situation. We want them to be able to live in their house, not live for their house.
You know what I like about Paramount Residential Mortgage Group is that you guys are the lenders. There's no question if you take it on, you're going to close because you are the lenders.
We make the decisions. We have in-house underwriting. We make the absolute decision whether you can be approved or not. Of course, we follow the Fannie Mae and FHA guidelines, but if we think you can pay back your loan, we're going to make the deal.
Well, one of the reasons why I invited you on is that you have a great promoter with Karen Donohue. She tells me, when she gives you somebody to get pre-approved, you just don't do that. You go above and beyond the call duty, and you have a high success rate of approvals, which
He's my mortgage guru, in fact.
He's your mortgage guru.
You call him that. Yes.
That's true. And this is a passion for you. You've been doing this for over 20 years?
Yep, I've been in this business for 23 years. It's like even when the worst times came in 2007, 2008, they just couldn't drag me out. I didn't know what else to do. So I'm here today, and it's really come full circle. When I first started in the business, people qualified just like they do now, and it got real easy for a little time, but it's back to where it was. And now if you make the money and you pay your bills relatively on time, you can be in a house.
Well, I'll tell you, that's just it. It's keeping up with that aspect and not getting over your head. I had friends who bought homes, magnificent homes, but they didn't have money for furniture.
Yeah, we see it. Years ago, Freddie Mac went to homes that were in foreclosure, and they'd drive in, and they would see an SUV on one side. They see new cars, boats, and then the people weren't paying for their house.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Today, you got to afford it, and you get into a home that you can actually pay and enjoy, and enjoy the American dream.
Howard, this is so critical because this was the mistake that led to the downfall. Have the rules changed at all? how critical is a second income in the household? And say you want to buy a house and your combined income's $50,000, what can you afford?
Well, right now, you can, on FHA guidelines and actually conventional guidelines, it's about 45 to 50% of your gross income can go towards your mortgage payment.
That's still scary. I don't know, because I guess I grew up in a different era. It was 25%.
Right. I
You know?
remember.
Well, that's why we not only qualify you to what you can qualify for, but then we also back in to say, what really is affordable for you on a payment.
Good.
But with interest rates so low, people could buy much more house than they really think they can.
Right.
Howard, why don't you give out the contact information before we continue?
Sure. First, if you're looking for a house, you can go to www-real-estate.biz.
Actually, that's Florida-real-estate.biz. FloridaRealEstate.biz.
I didn't have my glasses
I was
with
gonna
me.
say, everybody's been borrowing
It's
glasses
still early.
this
It's still early.
It's still early. This is true.
And my direct line is area code 954-868-6879. And I'm always happy to answer any questions about buying real estate or financing real estate. And you can also send an email to howard@closewithhoward.com.
Well, that sounds very easy, and it's always best to get yourself pre-approved to know what you're able to do. You could break your heart very, very easily to find a property you just cannot be approved for.
Well, the biggest thing that I see out there, the problem that I see, is that people go out looking for homes and they think they're pre-approved because they give people information, but the mortgage person doesn't actually look at their tax returns, doesn't look at their W-2s or their pay stubs, where there could be little hang-ups that you can fix before you actually go out and look.
Well, that's key.
I think some people think they get a pre-qualifying letter, they think they've been pre-approved. Not at all true. You need to get pre-approved for the loan, not because you can qualify to actually apply for it.
I think that's a huge, say that again, I think that's huge for people to understand.
The difference between a pre-qualifying letter and a pre-approval letter. I'll have somebody come to me, want to go out shopping for homes, and they said, but I've been told I've been pre-qualified for X amount. You come to find out they have not been pre-approved for that amount because they never did the underwriting process.
That is a big difference. And a big transition you were telling me before the show is that we were at an 18-month
inventory. Yeah, over a year ago. It's down to 6 months now.
It's down to 6 months. And in direct correlation to that, Howard was saying about applications going up.
Yeah, right now, applications are skyrocketing. Our phones are ringing off the hook for people who want to buy homes. It seems like the biggest limiting factor that we have right now is them actually finding a house that they want in the neighborhoods that they like.
Wow. I mean, that's a
nice problem.
That's a nice problem to have. I wish we had more time. We'll certainly have you come back on. And give out your contact information again, Howard, how they can actually call you and get in touch with you.
Sure. They can call me at area code 954-868-6879, or they can send an email to howard@closewithhoward.com. And, of course, if they want to look for homes, they can reach Karen at www.florida-real-estate.biz.
Karen, you are a fantastic realtor. You've worked within a difficult market. You're surviving and thriving. And it's because of the quality and care that you do give to your clients. And
keep people like Howard in my back pocket.
Exactly. Exactly. You have an arsenal of help. And I understand we have less than a minute now. Coral Shores, his office is all over, and over 600 representatives.
Yes, 600 realtors and 10 office locations, although we primarily do Broward and South Palm Beach counties. Those would probably be our highlighted counties.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I wish we had more time. Mike, it goes by so fast.
It's incredible. And